Raise the needle to its highest point by turning the hand wheel toward you. First, we'll thread the lower looper. As you can see, each of the top thread guides has a right and a left groove. When using regular or thin threads, bring the thread through the right groove and then up and over through the left groove. Bring the thread to the right of the tension dial and wrap the thread around the dial, making sure to catch the hook. Next, feed the thread through the 4 guides and pass the thread through the eye of the lower looper. Leave about 4 inches of extra thread. To thread the upper looper, thread the top thread guide and pass the thread through the tension guide, as you did when threading the lower looper. Feed the thread through the thread guides and the wire thread guide, and then pass it through the eye of the upper looper. Leave about 4 inches of extra thread. Jaguar makes threading needles easy too. To thread needles, thread the top thread guide and pass the thread through the tension guide, as you did when threading the upper and lower loopers. Draw the thread through the thread guides. Thread the needles from front to back through the needle eye and pull the thread toward the back, passing along the right side of the presser foot. Leave an extra 4 inches of thread. Incorrect threading can result in skipped stitches, broken threads, and other problems. Refer to your instruction manual for detailed diagrams on proper threading, as well as information on the threading of thicker threads. An optional needle hole threader increases ease in threading. To ensure proper threading and to clear all threads, test sew on a small piece of fabric before you begin. Four-thread sewing is best suited for standard serging on woven or knit fabrics. When performing the 4-thread overlock on an average weight fabric, set tensions at 4, over edge width at 6 millimeters, and the differential feed dial to 1. The fabric thickness will determine the exact setting. Refer to your instruction manual for additional information. Here we have the 2.5 millimeter stitch length. Remember, thinner fabrics require shorter stitches, heavier fabrics require longer stitches. Your epochlock features a differential feed control. It is designed to minimize puckering and wavering and is effective for gathering. Puckering tends to occur on woven or sheer fabrics. To obtain pucker-free seams, set the differential feed control dial at less than 1. Wavering tends to occur on knitted or stretchable fabrics. To obtain waver-free seams, set the differential feed control dial at more than 1. Differential feed makes gathering easier on lightweight fabric. Use it on waistlines, sleeve heads, sleeve bottoms, and ruffles. Set the differential feed control dial between 1.5 and 2. For best results, use the optional gathering foot. Your instruction manual provides further details on this feature. Use 3-thread serging for knits, seam finishes, flat locking, and lace applications. Either the left or right needle will need to be removed. To remove needles, raise the needle bar to its highest point by turning the hand wheel toward you. Leave the presser foot down, loosen the clamp screw, and remove either needle, depending on your project. For the 3-thread overlock, all controls may remain as they were during the 4-thread overlock, with the obvious absence of one needle and its corresponding thread. As always, remember to clear the threads and sew a test sample. A 3-thread flat lock may be sewn using either the right or left needle. The 3-thread flat lock is designed for applying lace on lingerie, applying ribbing, and joining swimwear seams. Sew along the folded edges of fabric, allowing the stitches to hang off the edge. Pull the fabric edge flat when done. Refer to your instruction manual for complete details and settings. Your machine also features a stitch finger, located inside the cutting unit. Remove the stitch finger when performing a narrow hem, a rolled hem, or a picot stitch. Do so by opening the front cover and the cutting unit. Remove the stitch finger from the needle plate, use a screwdriver if necessary, and store it in the front cover. As you can see, beautiful hems on knit fabrics can be obtained with the 3-thread narrow hem. Simply set the tensions according to the fabric and thread used and the over edge width to 4 millimeters. Set the stitch length control dial to 2 to 2.5. For best results, use the optional blind hem foot. Create wonderful pieces like those shown here with the 3-thread rolled hem and picot stitch. It's ideal for rolled hem napkins, sewing on lace, and making family heirlooms. Both a rolled hem and picot stitch require 3 threads. Woolly nylon thread is recommended. In both cases, set the lower and upper looper thread tensions and the right needle thread tension to 4. The over edge width should be 4 to 6 millimeters. Use your imagination to create projects with varying thread thicknesses and materials. The corded overlock can be used to strengthen shoulders, sleeves, or side seams when joining or sewing bulky or slippery fabrics and knitted garments. As a decorative feature, you can use knitting yarns. Contrasting colors can further enhance your garment. Snap the detachable cord guide onto the thread guide pole. Place a filler cord, such as wool, yarn, 1/4 inch twill tape, etc., at the rear of the machine spool pin. Pass the cord through the cord guides. Insert the cord through either the front or rear hole in the presser foot and pass it under and to the rear of the foot. Place the material to be sewn as usual. Start slowly to be sure that the cord is feeding correctly and increase speed as needed. For pin tucking, often using either a narrow 3-thread overlock or a rolled edge, fold the fabric along a line to be pin tucked and overlock sew along the folded edge, making sure not to cut into the folded edge of the fabric. Pull the ends of the thread to the underside and press. For decorative effects, use rayon or metallic threads. Use your imagination. With your Jaguar serger, you can create a wide variety of decorative trims and cords by changing threads, colors, and more. To sew a decorative braid using 3 threads, overlock over a cord or braid. Hold it carefully with both hands, making sure not to cut the edge. Two-thread serging capability is included with Jaguar's epochlock model 056DW. For 2-thread serging, remove the upper looper thread and attach the 2-thread converter. Remember, the stitch finger must be removed. For a demonstration of how to attach the 2-thread converter, review the Features section. For a 2-thread rolled hem, set the lower looper thread tension to 1 or more and the right needle thread tension to any number to 5. Set the overedge width to 4 to 6 millimeters and the stitch length control to 1 to 2. 2-thread overlocking is